digital marketing for HVAC and home service businesses.
Strategies and stories from industry experts to help you succeed.
What's up, everybody? We are here with the OUTWORK'em podcast. Today, we have an in-person guest. He is a special guest. My brother, my business partner, part of the team at top Seer Marketers, Thomas Eberts.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
Y'all. So he's talking to y'all. Let's hear it. How y'all doing? Drop it in the comments to the show. Show would like to know how you're doing, and feel free to crack a joke or two. We're gonna have some fun today, if you know what I mean. Power partners, you know what I mean. In all non-seriousness, though, today's podcast, I'd love to talk a little bit about what we've been up to the last week, almost a week and a half now. We've started a tradition of a quarterly work retreat that we're now gonna, we feel a little ingenuine calling it a work retreat, because really it's a work intensive, and we're retreating from everyday life, which is cool. It's a great way for us all to come together and set a shared intention around a period of time to co-create. And this is our second intensive, second work intensive that we've formally set up, right?
Yep.
What do you think about the first one compared to this one we just did?
I think the first one was like 3 or 4 days, if I remember right. And I think we got a feeling for how impactful time spent together can be, especially if we are together in one space and working towards one goal, and we have a unified mind and a unified heart. I think the first work intensive has shown me the potential of 3 brains coming together and multiplying knowledge and resources and ideas and progress. And those were 4 days, and I feel this work intensive we have definitely leveled up. We set up a content studio for filming content. We have invested in a property that we can be very comfortable at and have like a next level work environment. So I feel comparing our first work intensive with our work intensive now, I feel the potential that we have experienced in the first work intensive was now multiplied by having the right space and the right environment to come together and work.
Yeah, I agree. It's kind of cool. We were talking earlier how when we first started working together, we started with an intensive in some way, shape, or form. It was
pretty intense, yeah. I remember like I would come over every morning, and every morning we would have a workout, we would have a cold plunge, we would have breakfast, and then we would start working together for the whole day. And I'll leave home at like 5:30, and I would be home at 6, which is like 12 hours every day. It was pretty wild how we started in a very intense way.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of things I do in life have these punctuations of intensity, and they always make me aware of how much more I'm capable of after the fact. And most notably, I would say first work retreat was definitely one of those experiences. And then the other times I've had that type of experience is when I go hunting, because it's, waking up 3:30 or so in the morning, hiking around all day, like doing so much, possibly sometimes not doing much at all, maybe sitting somewhere really quietly for like 8 hours, but that's still a lot.
Yeah.
And yeah, just day after day, kind of grinding it out, sometimes 7-10 days, and then come back to regular life, and everything seems so easy. That's been my experience.
Yeah, I mean, I feel it's in life always like that, and in business as well. Everything happens in rhythms. Like there are natural rhythms to everything. We can look at the four seasons, we can look at the ocean, we can look at the moon, right? Everything has a rhythm, and I feel in business when we come together in these quarterly sessions to have a work intensive, that's like one rhythm, that's one season where we come together and work together really intensely, and then the energy that we build is sort of like sustaining itself over the next 3 months until we come back together. And we have gone through like all of the four seasons within the business within these 3 months after our intensive. We come back together and we pick it up again. Yeah, and I think it's really valuable to live by these seasons and with that rhythm in the company. And I'm really looking forward to once we have more and more employees where we can have these work intensive with the entire company, have like 10, 15, 20 people travel around the world and have like epic work intensives where we like impact our clients and our business, and we grow everything in a really good way. Yeah, I'm really looking forward for that.
Yeah, me too. Talking about up-leveling the work-intensive experience. I mean, I can't wait till we can actually get like a proper meal at the work-intensive and like
But I haven't eaten in days.
proper chef.
Jeez, I
It's
haven't
like,
eaten in days.
Just, needing to really rough it with the food we've been having. What do you think?
It was so hard. I had the feeling I barely ate anything this work intensive.
No, we're cracking a joke here. So I got to give a shout out to my wife and another member of the top Seer Marketers team, integral part of the business and everything in my life, Jana. I just want to say she's been crushing it. Not only has she been working all day with us every day, but whenever I'm taking a little bit of time to maybe unplug or relax just before lunch, she's putting together an epic meal, and she's planned it all out to keep us nourished and not needing to leave the house or go anywhere to get food or anything like that. She prepared an entire grocery list, a menu, and created a schedule, what time breakfast, what time's lunch, what time's dinner, and that's been our framework to work from all week, and it's definitely been a nice guiding light. She's been a guiding light for me for this entire week, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know what we would have done without Jenna, honestly. We would have probably eaten all the nuts that would have been here, and we would have tried to get a breakfast in and a dinner, and I don't know how that would have turned out. I really appreciate Jenna and the love that she puts into it, because I feel that the nourishment that she provided for us during the entire work intensive has been nourishing everything else, our clients and our business. So it's almost like the love and the intention, the care she puts into the food is passed down to so many more people than just us, aside from it being extremely good food that I really enjoyed and that gave me a lot of energy during the work days, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, and then the setup, the lighting, all the work with the tripods and the cameras and all that, we've been able to plug in the work, and then she'll just grab us and say, hey, it's time to film. And that's been really awesome to see. And, for our clients, them creating content is oftentimes like a sticking point, which I can totally get. There's so much to be done. Some people like being on camera, some people don't. I'd say I'm like indifferent about it. I'm not necessarily like uncomfortable on the camera, but I'm not like chasing opportunities to put myself on the internet all day. And with the way that she's curated a studio setup that we can take with us on the road traveling and really pop up anywhere we want, it's very inspiring, especially just seeing the feedback we got from promoting our webinar this week, increasing the amount of content we're putting out on social media. That's one topic I mentioned we wanted to kind of go over today is, we've grown a lot of our business through word of mouth, through people in the community, through networking, friends, family reaching out, knowing that we have expertise in the realm of marketing and SEO, web design, ads, email automation, text message automation, and really helping people get a better ROI on their marketing dollars. So we receive support from the community, and we've lived all over the world, both of us. So it's really awesome to have people in different networks reaching out. But one thing that is becoming very, very clear is for us to get to the next level where we want to be and impact the number of businesses we want to impact. And we are now marketing ourselves through not just local marketing, but on a national scale for HVAC and home service businesses to find us. And it's different than what we do for local service businesses and HVAC businesses, because for them, we're doing local marketing, local SEO, local advertising. And for what we're doing now for our own business is more on a national scale. So it's fun to really dive in there and to put my finger on the specific differences between the two in action, not just in theory.
Yeah, I think the biggest difference for us is that, as you said, we get our clients nationally from the entire US, and we can even take some clients from Canada as well. And the core difference to an HVAC company, family owned and operated, is that they operate typically in a city, in one city. Sure, there are multi-location businesses that, for example, spread through Arizona and cover Phoenix, Scottsdale, and Tucson, three of the biggest cities within Arizona. But us reaching the broader market in the US and Canada, in order for us to not only get more contractors that we can support with SEO, website design, PPC, social media advertising, display advertising, retargeting, email marketing, text marketing, etc. But why I'm so excited about it is because in Phoenix, for example, and around Phoenix, the amount of people that are 100% fit to who we are, not only our services, but who we are, is a lot smaller than if we go nationally. Yeah. And what I'm a big fan of is I like to be picky about our clients, because if we are picky about our clients, we can make sure that they bring all the requirements that we need in order to make them succeed, and hence the results are going to be better of our clients, and hence all of our digital marketing, not only locally or nationally, but anything we do on social media or through advertising in our webinars will just spiral out and will just have a ripple effect so much bigger. So that's what I like about it, is going out broader gives us a bigger pool to pick from and to choose from, and gives us better matches, and hence the results that we achieve with the time that we invest into HVAC and home service businesses just have a better return on investment, the time that we spend, and the results are going to be better. And that's what I'm really excited about with us growing our social media channels, us growing our outreach strategy, us growing our content marketing through our monthly workshops, through the Roast My Site live that we wanna.
I'm stoked for Roast My Site.
No, Roast My Site is gonna become really epic, because I think we can have some fun on a live session. The idea is to come together once a month and have a Roast My Site session, and over the month during 30 days, HVAC contractors and home service contractors can submit their sites and a little bit of information about their business. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump on a live for an hour, and then I choose 3 or 4 sites that I'm going to roast, and really roast in a funny way, but also my goal is to provide value and say hey, look, these are conversion elements that you missed. Look, these are the SEO elements that you missed. Hey, look, these are the UX and branding elements that you missed. Look, but package it in a funny way, and have it be like an hour talk show where you can actually not only get entertained, but also invest your time into something where you can learn how to make more money with your HVAC and home service contractor business.
Totally.
So yeah, I'm really, really stoked for that format. I think it's gonna land really well.
I think it's going to also help, like you said, land really well. But I think it's that part that you spoke about where you said people who are a good fit for us, with us. We want to have fun and enjoy working with the people we work with.
Yeah.
And we want to get epic results together.
Yeah.
And the have fun and enjoy part, I feel like, attracts a certain type of person.
Yeah.
Like someone who signs up for Roast My Site, they want to have fun and enjoy. It's like, okay, well, if I'm going to go through the painful process of seeing what I'm missing on, let's at least have fun with it.
Yeah.
And that's something I'm excited about.
Yeah, it's a good pre-qualifier. It's a good pre-qualifier of like, hey, are you a HVAC and home service contractor that wants to have fun a little bit, but also get confronted with the uncomfortable truth of how shit your website is like? You know, I don't, you know, I tend to be very direct and very like honest about things that I see, and sometimes that gains me a lot of acknowledgement, and sometimes it gains me a lot of hate. But I rather confront the business owner with what is actually happening in a maybe more digestible way, as you said this morning. You know, like humor and entertainment brings information to light and makes them a little bit more digestible. But the truth is the truth, especially in business. And I'm not in the business of sugarcoating. Yeah. I'm in the business of speaking numbers. And I've said that since we started working, I care about numbers because the numbers make things measurable. And you are more the personality of like, from what I've gotten to know, is like you care a lot about energy and like how things feel in the relationship. And while I care about it as well, I bring more the numbers in and you bring more the feeling in, and that's why we harmonize that well. It's because I feel like you are really good at caring about the people and the work environment and bringing everything in harmony. And I tend to fuck up the harmony by just sharing the numbers and say like, hey, look, like last month was really shit. That's because this and this and this happened, and we need to do this and this in the future. Or on a consultation call, I will be quite frank and honest and say, I'm gonna be honest, with your size of business, I would have expected a website that is actually nailed in, but you're missing this, and this. And then from how I've experienced you in the past, you're like more like, yeah, and you know, it's understandable that you miss these things, and because like sometimes there's so much going on in the business, especially with the growth that you had, that you can't focus on everything, and you put like what I say, which can be really sharp and pointy, into a context where it's easier and more digestible. Yeah. And so and that with the Roast My Site format, the monthly Roast My Site format, I think that's gonna land really well. To have the uncomfortable truth in a digestible format.
Totally. I mean, thinking about what you're saying about harmony and being understanding of it, it's like people come to us oftentimes. I think there's probably 3 buckets. It's probably starting a new business, wanting to get to the next level, or there's problems and they want to right the ship. So all 2 of those 3 situations they're in business already. And sometimes there's people who are paying, you know, $5,000, $6,000, $10,000 per month, and they've been doing that for a period of time, and then they pick up their head and they look under the hood of what's been going on and what the value they've been hoping to receive in exchange for their dollars isn't there. And while that is terrible, the last thing I want to do is, you know, have someone feel like it's something that isn't able to be recovered from, and that I don't understand, and that I'm not judging them as a business owner or a person. It's like, oh, well, you interviewed someone, you trusted them to do their job. And I mean, I've hired people and trusted them to do a job and it didn't work out before. And so that's where I'm understanding. And then the Roast My Site thing, I'm actually thinking about how fun it would be to roast some of like our old websites.
Oh, you know, shit.
Talk about
hilarious.
Yeah, talk about these, you know, there's businesses that are able to grow in the community through word of mouth, become successful, which I'd say that's how we grew our business, I mentioned.
Yeah.
So we were able to grow to a certain extent without putting all the focus there.
Yeah.
And now to get up to that next level, there's different things that are top priority.
Yeah, it's almost like if I look back on our first websites, I'm just like, holy fucking shit, go dig a hole. I'm gonna put myself in there, looking at those sites, you know, like looking back and seeing just the journey of applying the knowledge of like 10 years in the industry and then applying that over time. And yeah, it's quite wild. And if I reflect back, what lands most with me is that a business grows in stages, and where in the beginning everything is just pieced together. Nothing will look flushed out in the very beginning. In the very beginning, it's just about getting the presence and getting the visibility and having accessibility, you know. And then stage number 2 is where it is the season of reflection of like, how did the first stage turn out and what do we need to do in order to grow and, for example, increase our conversion rate, increase our visibility, increase the online traffic, et cetera, because then they, like in stage 1, they make it to the baseline revenue, for example, like $350,000, $500,000 in yearly revenue, in annual revenue. And then with like 10% marketing budget, they have $50,000 a year that they can actually put into marketing in order to grow. And then they can say like, oh, wow, okay, we made stage 1, stage 2. What does that need to look like? For example, on the 2025 planning workshop that I held yesterday, I had a company on there. They said they paid $4,000 monthly to an SEO agency for a year. And I tried to visit their website, and their website is not even available. And that got me really sad in that moment, you know, because I'm thinking about like, obviously we are our own marketing agency. We're marketing our own services. So we don't spend money, but we spend the labor. But if I think
that's
about...
That's more than the money.
Yeah, but if I think about that, us spending $48,000 a year on our business and ending up with a website that is not even like openable, like I would feel extremely shit with that. And so I was really moved after the workshop because I checked them out and was like, oh man, that must suck. Yeah, and why I'm saying that I want to come back to having understanding for picking somebody that is maybe not the best choice for the business and not knowing before. And I think there are a couple of things that HVAC and home service contractors can ensure in order for them to know when to pull the trigger and to pull the trigger earlier, rather earlier, or not even having to pull the trigger to say goodbye. And what I think that is transparency. It's transparency about numbers. Having a marketing dashboard that I can log in 24/7 and know exactly what's going on in my business, on my website, in my PPC, in my SEO, my local SEO, Google Business Profile, email marketing, etc. Extremely important. Like if you do not have 24/7 access, how will you be able to just spot check on a contractor that you are paying money to, right? Like a marketing agency. Then monthly reports, extremely important to be able to have, a monthly rhythm of meeting where you get a pulse on how your marketing is running, how many leads, what's the cost per lead, what's the conversion rate of these leads, what is the cost per acquisition, how much revenue was generated, how much opportunity was generated, in order for me to be able as a business owner to say like, okay, marketing is working or marketing is not working. Yeah. And then based on these two sole factors, transparency in the dashboard, transparency in a monthly marketing report, as a business owner, you are 24/7 fully informed about what's going on in with your marketing agency. And if an agency gives you that, I think that's a big plus to support the business owner to see the value and see why they're spending this amount of money, and also being able to navigate data-driven decisions. For example, if the return on investment on marketing spend is going down drastically, like any contractor should have a conversation with the agency of like, hey, what's going on? Why is my return on investment going down so much? And what is happening, in order to, as a CEO, be able to sort of like direct the business into the right position. And that's another thing where I see a lot of contractors that have started their business having to level up, in terms of being more in the business development because they outgrow their position of being the HVAC technician or the lead installer or the lead plumber in their business, and they take more the seat of, I need to drive this ship now. And that's something new to them as well, where I feel like marketing agencies have a really important position, because they have to help the contractor understand that and have to set that tone in the onboarding call and say, hey, look, you're the CEO and we are a fractional CMO, Chief Marketing Officer, and we are supporting you with leads and everything that you need, and we're helping you be informed about what's going on in your business.
Yeah.
That was a little bit of a rant, but the point I want to make is that for an HVAC and home service contractor to have a good experience with a marketing agency, there needs to be a symbiosis between the agency and the contractor in order to make fully informed decisions together and moving forward. Yeah,
I would agree. That's spot on. And so you said the marketing dashboard, transparency to numbers, monthly reporting. And
monthly meeting rhythm, extremely important as well, that you get to see your agency and who's working with you alongside you at least monthly, if not bi-weekly.
Yeah. When I was going through the things that you mentioned, I was thinking of what was missing for me that you mentioned, and you hit the nail on the head with a monthly meeting. Yeah. And then more importantly, sometimes than the monthly meeting is that like quarterly, like more big picture, macro, where are we at and where do we want to go type conversation. Because sometimes there's business owners we've worked with that they don't want to do a monthly meeting, or they want to do the monthly meeting, but they also have family and their business and vacation they might want to go on, and we put it on the calendar, and sometimes it turns into, oh, I can't make it, and then rather than us just let it go by the wayside, doing our best to send a video recap of some of what we wanted to present there has been something I think is really important to meet people where they're at, not make exceptions and not just let people no show and have really questionable accountability. Yeah. But when we know people are really putting in the effort and trying to show up with us, that if something happens, we do our best to meet them where they're at. And that's that was the one thing, the monthly meeting that I thought was missing. But I actually need a drink. Hey Jana, Jamie. Hey Jamie, pull it up, Jamie. You're like, babe, you could be like Jamie from Joe Rogan. You are the executive. Pull it up. Anything we need Jana to look up on the internet, I just kind of want to ask her to Google something. Isn't that what all the cool kids do on their podcast? They have a in-house fact checker. I am a good researcher. Yeah, you are a good researcher. And what I find really interesting is there's sometimes these podcasts where they don't really trust the mainstream media, or they might want to go into alternative ideas or schools of thought, but then they go to Google to get their news or information, and it can get interesting. But I'll leave that rant for another day.
I think the point that you brought up with accountability and letting things slide is really important too, because I think a challenge that I see in any marketing agency, and of course in our agency as well, is sort of the internal statement to make that we do not let things slide, no matter what happens. Because and this just goes back to how disciplined are we? What is our ability to follow our own set of rules? Yeah. And if we set our own set of rules to say we do not let things slide and we report every month, and if our client does not show up for a marketing call, we send them a video with an overview about what's going on. The ability to stick to our own set of rules is what gives the contractor the consistency they need to see in order for them to show up in that way, right? And I love what you said of like, hey, some of our contractors don't want to meet monthly, they want to meet quarterly and speak a little bit more high level and get a download what happened the last 3 months. And that's what I love, because it is similar to us meeting in that three month rhythm, like in that quarterly rhythm of having our quarterly intensive. We have a quarterly intensive meeting with our clients, 2 or 3 hours, where we speak high level what happened in the last 3 months, reviewing the past quarter and previewing the next quarter and setting goals and making clear that the bigger and higher level action steps are done. For example, hey, next 3 months is extremely important that we focus on acquiring a new location to be able to open a new Google Business Profile and get more leads in that service area that we wanted to expand in. Or, hey, it's really important that in the next quarter, we are focusing on creating more media because we need to put more media on our site in order to enhance conversions, etc. So it's these high level things that need to be spoken about in these quarterly meetings, and then the monthly meetings are more like it's a fine-tuning of like, hey, how was your lead flow last month? How was the quality of leads last month? What services did you get the most leads for? And which services would you get more leads for next month? And then it's sort of like the fine-tuning of our SEO campaigns, the fine-tuning of our PPC campaigns, social media campaigns, etc., to like point in that direction.
Yeah.
And I think it's extremely important to have these monthly calls, out of my perspective, leading operations, because in the end of the day, any type of home service contractor goes through seasons.
Yeah.
And at least, at the minimum, if you look at a plumber has typically 24/7, 365 days work, but they go through holidays as well.
Yeah.
There are extended periods of holidays from Thanksgiving to Christmas where things are slower.
Yeah.
So what can we focus on in order to establish a baseline of leads, lead flow, appointments, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So I think like this month, the rhythm... The rhythm comes up a lot today. I think the rhythm is just really important. Monthly meeting rhythm, reporting rhythm, dashboard, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah.
And maybe we'll rename our whole agency now. Rhythm.
Rhythm. It's the rhythm of the night. Oh, yeah. We will report every month. It's the rhythm of the night. You can trust that we are consistent with our word.
What are you drinking there? Is that whiskey hitting you now? What's got you singing that tune?
Yeah, it's some good. I think the coffee is called Purity Coffee. It's coffee that is that comes without mold. Without toxins, and is actually freshly grinded by your beloved wife Jana. I think every evening she's grinding this coffee and puts it in a coffee machine, so we just have to push a button in the morning so we have a fresh pot of coffee.
Yeah, I haven't brought it up to her yet, but I'm getting kind of concerned about her grinding it the night before. I'm worried that mold might be growing between when she grinds it and when the water hits it.
Geez, I think we should get in touch with one of our mold removal contractors.
Yeah. Well, that'll be a cool segue. Thomas brought up the mold. Jan and I, we lived in a place that I loved. It's the place that Thomas talked about, coming over for a cold plunge in the morning. So we started working together during the month of May. It was May 16th, actually.
2023.
Yeah. And it gets really hot in Phoenix. And the only time that is comfortable to be outside is first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
And I mean, by July, it's really hot, even in the morning. So the cold plunge was our best friend.
For sure.
So going on a little bit of a tangent here, but I loved that space. We were 1 block from a trailhead, had an Olympic weightlifting set in the backyard, a cold plunge, a trampoline, all my fun tools to activate the day. And then we had a water leak, and we went out of town traveling and back to Pittsburgh to see my family. We came back, and Jana's health, her heart rate went way up and all kind of stuff after sleeping in our space. So then we got to develop a huge appreciation for the remediation contractors, the restoration contractors, and to see the work that they do protect people. And they're really providing a healthy living environment for people to thrive in, for them to raise their family in, for them to just exist. And so if you're a restoration company, you're listening today, I just want to say we really appreciate you and whatever we can do to help. If you have a question, if you want to have a conversation about marketing, we're here for you. If you want to work with us, we're here for you.
If you want to get your site roasted.
If you want to get your site roasted. If you want us to remediate your site remediation day.
If you want to get your site remediated as a mold or a home service contractor, you can come to our website and submit your website and you get roasted like crazy, okay? And we'll tell you everything about what needs to be remediated and removed on your website in order for it to be a healthy environment for your business.
So that's for the fire damage restoration, I'd say. The roasting of the site. Yeah. Well, we're coming up on time here pretty soon for today's podcast. We have some other content we're eventually getting home, but I think we got time for another topic, one more topic maybe. I'm getting some mixed signals from my wife behind the camera. Can you come and show everyone what you're doing real quick?
They can't see me over there.
Come over here.
They can't see me over there.
Okay, come over here. Come tell us what's going on.
In front of the camera?
Wherever you need to be seen. Here. All right. So.
Camera one died. The guys went way over.
Show them what you were doing
I
though.
was doing this.
What about
Wrap the hell up.
Wrap it up. I need to improve my director skills. I don't think
you were great.
I think I'm mean enough.
You were
yet
great.
to be producer, and this is giving me a full appreciation for why they have that
You're a timekeeper, right?
that stigma about them. Yeah, I try to be.
Well, I appreciate you. I wanted you featured today anyways. So thanks for coming and being featured and showing them. But we're going to close it out. Will you point it over to Thomas?
Yes.
And that way maybe you could wrap us up today, bro?
Oh yeah, I can wrap us up. What's up?
We can put it all under one hat?
We can all put it underneath one hat. So
Hold on 1 second. We're going to put it under two hats.
okay. So what we say in Germany is to put everything underneath one hat, is meaning all of our responsibilities that we have, we make sure that we take good care of them. So let's put this underneath one hat. I really love to talk to Ryan and have my presence here on the podcast for the first time. And I think what stuck out for me today very, very strongly is that who we work with and who works with us is the biggest determining factor of our success. Make America beard again. I love that one. Ryan just came back with a cap. So with that being said, I think I'm stoked to be more on the podcast. I really love chatting and sharing a couple of insights about what I think is making HVAC and home service contractors successful in general and successful with their marketing agencies, and educating a little bit about what I think is important in terms of operations for marketing agencies and in consideration of working together with HVAC and home service contractors. And overall, I just want to point towards the resource of Roast My Site. Whenever you're listening, go to our website, topseermarketers.com. The Roast My Site invitation is open for anyone who's listening. I'm super stoked to look at your website and roast it, sear it a little bit, and then give it a good heat over like 10, 15, 20 minutes and make sure that we have a perfectly medium rare to rare steak there. And with that being said, I'm feeling complete. Ryan, any last remarks?
One more, bro. That was better. I don't know how that's going to sound on the mic, though.
Yeah. Oh, our listeners will know.
Yeah, they'll let us know. Thanks for everything on the show today, bro.
Yeah.
It's been awesome.
Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, Top Seer Marketers, TikTok, Top Seer Marketers, YouTube, Top Seer Marketers. We have a lot of content in the pipeline. If you want to stay updated and learn more about how you can get more leads, more book jobs, more return on investment on your marketing dollars spent, check our socials out and you will get pumped up with some more content. And if your marketing agency is not doing a good job sending some of our videos, they might get either stoked or really pissed off, but that will tell you more about your marketing agency and what they do. So with that being said, stoked to check in another day. Peace.